What could one of the world's most revered figures be hiding? What surprising revelation did Mother Teresa make in her final days? In this video, we explore the shocking confessions of the iconic Mother Teresa before her death, unveiling a secret that could change our perception of the Saint of Calcutta forever. No one has captured the public's imagination like Mother Teresa. Her life, dedicated to serving the poorest and most needy in Calcutta, made her a symbol of compassion, love, and mercy. One of her most impactful phrases, reflecting her deep convictions, is, "The greatest destroyer of peace is the cry of the innocent unborn child." This statement, though controversial, shows the firmness of her beliefs and her commitment to defending life in all its forms. Throughout her life, Mother Teresa became an iconic figure transcending religious and cultural boundaries. With unwavering faith and dedication, she touched the hearts of millions worldwide. She founded the Missionaries of Charity, a congregation that continues her work, providing aid to the most needy in multiple countries. However, despite her impeccable public image, Mother Teresa also had moments of internal struggle and questioning. In her final days, she revealed a secret that could change our perception of her forever. This revelation, closely guarded until the end of her life, shows a more human and vulnerable side of the Saint of Calcutta. Mother Teresa, also known as Saint Teresa of Calcutta since 2016, has a complex and multifaceted public image. She has received widespread admiration for her selfless charitable work, which earned her the prestigious Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts in combating poverty and distress, considered threats to peace. Throughout her life, she was celebrated and recognized with numerous awards and honorary titles, consistently ranked among the world's most admired people. Many Catholics hold her in high esteem, considering her a saint and seeking her intercession. However, alongside praise, Mother Teresa has also faced significant criticism. Some have expressed concerns about the quality of medical care provided by her organization. There have been suggestions that certain deathbed baptisms were forced conversions, and she has been accused of having connections with colonialism, racism, and questionable public figures. She never said a word, but before her death, she broke her silence and revealed a terrifying secret. Mother Teresa's journey to India began with her birth under the name Anjez Gonsha Bojakshiu. She was born on August 26, 1910, in Skopje, Ottoman Empire, and was baptized the day after her birth. Later, she considered August 27th as her true birthday. Mother Teresa was the youngest daughter of Nicola and Dronophile Bojakshiu. Her father, involved in Albanian community politics, passed away in 1919 when she was 8 years old. In her early years, she developed a deep fascination with captivating stories of missionaries and their selfless service in Bengal. At the tender age of 12, she had already decided to dedicate herself to religious life. This unwavering determination only strengthened on the auspicious day of August 15, 1928, while kneeling in prayer at the sacred shrine of the Black Madonna of Letnes, a place she frequented on her pilgrimages. At 18, in 1928, she said goodbye to her home and embarked on a journey to join the Sisters of Loreto at the Loreto Convent in Rathfarnham, Ireland. Her purpose was to learn English, as it was the language of instruction for the Sisters of Loreto in India, where she aspired to become a missionary. Unfortunately, she never saw her mother or sister again, as her family resided in Skopje until 1934 before moving to Tirana. In 1929, she finally arrived in India and began her novitiate in the serene city of Darjeeling, nestled among the majestic lower Himalayas. It was here that she immersed herself in learning Bengali and also began teaching at St. Teresa's School near her convent. On the memorable day of May 24, 1931, she joyfully embraced her first religious vows, inspired by the patron saint of missionaries, Teresa de Lisieux, choosing to adopt the name Teresa. However, since another nun in the convent had already chosen that name, she decided to honor it using its Spanish spelling. Mother Teresa's missionary call was solidified when she took her solemn vows on May 14, 1937, while working as a teacher at the Loreto Convent School in Antali, east of Calcutta. Following the Loreto tradition, she adopted the title of mother. She dedicated almost 2 decades to the school, and was appointed headmistress in 1944. Despite enjoying teaching, Mother Teresa became increasingly disturbed by the poverty in Calcutta. What troubled her was that she did not feel at peace despite being a missionary. The Bengal famine of 1943 and the violence during the Direct Action Day in August 1946 further fueled her desire to help the needy. During a train ride to Darjeeling in 1946, Mother Teresa felt a strong inner call to serve the poor of India for Jesus. She sought and obtained permission to leave the school. In 1950, she established the Missionaries of Charity, adopting a white sari with 2 blue borders as the order's attire. On September 10, 1946, Teresa had a profound experience, which she later referred to as the call within the call. During her annual retreat at the Loreto Convent in Darjeeling, she felt compelled to leave the convent and assist the poor by living among them. This call was seen as a divine order, one she could not ignore without betraying her faith. Joseph Langford, founder of the Missionary Fathers of Charity, noted that, unbeknownst to many, Sister Teresa had transformed into Mother Teresa. In 1948, she embarked on her missionary work with the impoverished, abandoning her traditional Loreto habit for a simple white cotton sari adorned with a blue border. Mother Teresa adopted Indian citizenship and received basic medical training at the Holy Family Hospital in Patna before venturing into the slums. Before fully dedicating herself to the homeless and hungry, she established a school in Motijil, Calcutta. In early 1949, Mother Teresa was joined by a group of young women who laid the foundation for a new religious community dedicated to helping the poorest of the poor. Her efforts quickly captured the attention of Indian authorities, including the Prime Minister. On October 7, 1950, Mother Teresa obtained Vatican approval for the diocesan congregation, which later evolved into the Missionaries of Charity. In her own words, this congregation would care for the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, all those people who feel unwanted, unloved, uncared for throughout society, people that have become a burden to society and are shunned by everyone. Mother Teresa's compassion did not end there. She inaugurated her first hospice in 1952 with the help of Calcutta officials. She transformed an abandoned Hindu temple into the Kaligat home for the dying, which was made available to impoverished people for free. The hospice was later renamed Nirmal Hriday, the Pure Heart. Those admitted to the facility received medical care and were allowed to die with dignity according to their respective religious beliefs. Muslims were given the Quran to read, Hindus were provided with water from the Ganges, and Catholics received the sacraments of the sick. Mother Teresa described this as a beautiful death where individuals who had lived in poverty could leave this world with love and compassion. Additionally, she established a hospice specifically for people with leprosy, which she called Shanti Nagar, City of Peace. The Missionaries of Charity, founded by Mother Teresa, set up leprosy clinics throughout Calcutta, offering medical treatment, bandages, and food to those affected. As the number of homeless children grew, the Missionaries of Charity also began taking them in. In 1955, Mother Teresa opened Nirmala Shishu Bhavan, the Children's Home of the Immaculate Heart, as a refuge for orphans and homeless youth. The congregation experienced an increase in recruits and donations, leading to the establishment of hospices, orphanages, and leprosy clinics across India by the 1960s. Then Mother Teresa expanded the congregation's reach internationally, inaugurating a house in Venezuela in 1965 with 5 members. Subsequently, houses were established in Italy, Rome, Tanzania, and Austria in 1968. Throughout the 1970s, the congregation initiated houses and foundations in the United States and numerous countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe. This is not all. The Brothers of the Missionaries of Charity were established in 1963, followed by a contemplative branch of the Sisters in 1976. Both Catholic and non-Catholic laypeople were welcomed into the co-workers of Mother Teresa, the sick and suffering co-workers, and the lay missionaries of charity. In response to requests from various priests, Mother Teresa founded the Corpus Christi movement for priests in 1981, and together with Joseph Langford, established the Missionary Fathers of Charity in 1984 to unite the vocational goals of the Missionaries of Charity with the resources of the priesthood. By 1997, the congregation in Calcutta, which initially comprised 13 members, had grown to over 4,000 sisters overseeing orphanages, hospices for AIDS patients, and charity centers globally, serving refugees, the blind, the disabled, the elderly, alcoholics, the impoverished, the homeless, and victims of natural disasters, epidemics, and famines. By 2007, the Missionaries of Charity included approximately 450 brothers and 5,000 sisters worldwide, operating 600 missions, schools, and shelters in 120 countries. Mother Teresa expressed her identity in various ways. She claimed to be Albanian by blood, Indian by citizenship, and a Catholic nun by faith. Although she primarily worked in India, she occasionally traveled outside the country for humanitarian reasons. In 1971, she visited Belfast during a troubled time with 4 of her sisters. It is said that she faced pressure from high-ranking clerics who believed that the focus of missionary work should be directed elsewhere. Despite the local welcome and support, Mother Teresa and her sisters abruptly left the city in 1973. Was there a secret behind her departure, or did Mother Teresa see something that made her prefer to leave rather than stay? We will soon find out. Erin possesses a remarkable eye for design, and her attention to detail is truly inspiring. It is her meticulousness and artistic sensitivity that drive the aesthetic appeal of the program. From carefully selecting color palettes that perfectly complement the historical context of each home to dedicating the best decorative pieces, Erin effortlessly infuses her distinctive style into each project. The result is a harmonious blend of timeless charm and contemporary elements, creating spaces that are visually stunning and deeply rooted in history. Together, Erin and Ben, with their complementary skills and shared passion for creating beautiful and functional spaces, form an unstoppable team. Their collaboration on the Hometown program has not only brought joy and inspiration to their viewers, but also revitalized entire communities. In 1991, Mother Teresa visited the victims of radiation in Chernobyl and the victims of the earthquake in Armenia, and made her first return to Albania, where she inaugurated a home for the Missionary Brothers of Charity in Tirana. By 1996, the Missionaries of Charity were operating 517 missions in over 100 countries. The number of sisters in the Missionaries of Charity had grown from 12 to thousands, serving the poorest of the poor in 450 centers worldwide. The first home of the Missionaries of Charity in the United States was established in the South Bronx area of New York City, and by 1984, the congregation had 19 establishments across the country. In search of comfort, her connection with Jesus Christ, his holy face, and his heart, she prayed and contemplated in silence. However, in private, Mother Teresa struggled with doubts and had difficulties with her religious beliefs for nearly 5 decades until the end of her life. She openly expressed deep uncertainty about the existence of God and the anguish caused by her lack of faith. Does this mean that Mother Teresa was not close to God? Another secret is about to be revealed. This experience of spiritual dryness, characterized by a night of emptiness, was not unique to Mother Teresa, as other saints, including Thérèse de Lisieux, had similar encounters. James Langford states that these doubts were common and would not impede her canonization. After a decade of doubts, Mother Teresa briefly experienced renewed faith following the death of Pope Pius XII in 1958 during a Requiem Mass where she prayed for him. She felt relieved from the long emptiness of her suffering. However, this respite was short-lived, as her spiritual dryness returned 5 weeks later. Over 66 years, Mother Teresa wrote numerous letters to her confessors and superiors, notably addressed to the Archbishop of Calcutta and to the Jesuit priest Celeste van Exum, her spiritual advisor since the founding of the Missionaries of Charity. She specifically requested the destruction of these letters, fearing that they would divert attention toward her instead of Jesus. However, all the letters can be found in the book, Mother Teresa, Come Be My Light. In these letters, Mother Teresa tells her friend Michael van der Peet that Jesus loves him very much, but for her, She feels overwhelmed by silence and emptiness. She seeks but cannot see, hears but cannot hear, prays but no words come out. She asks Michael to pray for her so that she can fully surrender to Jesus. In Pope Benedict XVI's first encyclical, Deus Caritas Est, he speaks 3 times of Mother Teresa, using her life as an example to demonstrate that praying to God does not prevent us from helping others. In fact, it is the source of our love and service. Mother Teresa herself said that prayer and reading spiritual books help us grow in our capacity to pray. Although Mother Teresa's order was not part of the Franciscan orders, she admired Francis of Assisi, and his spirituality had a great impact on her. The Sisters of Charity recite the prayer of St. Francis every morning during Mass as a gesture of gratitude after communion. Her commitment to ministry and her vows share many similarities. St. Francis placed great importance on poverty, chastity, obedience, and dedication to Christ. He dedicated a significant part of his life to serving the impoverished, especially those affected by leprosy. This is just the beginning. Awards and recognitions. Mother Teresa received a diplomatic passport from the Indian government and was honored with the Padma Shri in 1962 and the Jawaharlal Nehru Award for International Understanding in 1969. Additionally, she was awarded several other prestigious Indian recognitions, including the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, in 1980. Navin Chawla wrote her official biography, published in 1992. Interestingly, in Calcutta, she is venerated as a deity by certain Hindus. In honor of her 100th birthday, the Indian government issued a special 5 rupee coin on August 28, 2010. This amount of money was significant as it represented the funds Mother Teresa had when she first arrived in India. President Pratibha Patil recognized Mother Teresa's impact, declaring that she and the missionaries of charity, dressed in white saris with blue borders, became a beacon of hope for various marginalized groups such as the elderly, homeless, unemployed, sick, terminally ill, and those abandoned by their families. Mother Teresa's efforts were recognized internationally when she received the Ramon Magsaysay Award for Peace and International Understanding in 1962. The award citation praised her compassionate dedication to the impoverished people of a foreign land, which led to the creation of a new congregation. By the early 1970s, Mother Teresa had become a renowned figure worldwide. Her rise to fame began with the release of Malcolm Muggeridge's 1969 BBC documentary titled Something Beautiful for God, followed by the publication of a book with the same name in 1971. Muggeridge himself was on a personal spiritual journey during this time. While filming the documentary, the crew faced challenges due to poor lighting conditions, especially in the home for the dying. Initially, they believed the footage captured under such circumstances would be unusable. However, to their surprise, when the material was reviewed in England, it was found to be exceptionally well lit. Muggeridge attributed this to a miraculous divine light from Teresa, while other team members attributed it to a new, highly sensitive Kodak film. Later, Muggeridge converted to Catholicism, deepening his connection with Mother Teresa. During this period, Mother Teresa gained recognition and admiration from the Catholic community. In 1971, Pope Paul VI awarded her the inaugural Pope John XXIII Peace Prize, recognizing her dedication to service, her embodiment of Christian charity, and her efforts toward promoting peace. In 1976, she was also honored with the Pacem in Terris Award. The process of canonizing Mother Teresa progressed quickly. She not only received accolades from religious institutions, but also was honored by governments and civil organizations. In 1982, she was named an honorary companion of the Order of Australia for her exceptional service to the Australian community and humanity in general. The United Kingdom and the United States awarded her numerous honors, culminating in the prestigious Order of Merit in 1983. On November 16, 1996, she was granted honorary citizenship of the United States. Additionally, her homeland, Albania, presented her with the Golden Honor of the Nation in 1994. Her acceptance of this award, as well as the Albanian Legion of Honor, sparked controversy. Mother Teresa faced criticism for her support from figures such as the Duvaliers, and corrupt businessmen like Charles Keating and Robert Maxwell. In fact, she even wrote a letter to the judge overseeing Keating's trial, requesting clemency. But that's not all. Mother Teresa was honored with honorary titles from universities in India and the West. She also received the Balzan Prize in 1978 for her efforts in promoting humanity, peace, and brotherhood among people, as well as the Albert Schweitzer International Prize in 1975. During her visit to the University of Scranton in northeastern Pennsylvania in April 1976, she was awarded the La Storta Medal for Human Service by University President William J. Byron. Mother Teresa encouraged the audience of 4,500 to connect with the poor in their own homes and local communities, whether by providing food or spreading joy and love. She expressed that impoverished people could help us in our spiritual growth, as they represent Christ in the form of suffering. In August 1987, she was awarded an honorary doctorate and addressed a gathering of over 4,000 students and members of the Scranton Diocese, emphasizing the importance of performing small acts with immense love while serving the poorest of the poor. Throughout her life, Mother Teresa was consistently ranked among the 10 most admired women in Gallup's annual poll of the most admired people, occupying the first position several times during the 1980s and 1990s. In 1999, she was recognized as the most widely admired person of the 20th century, according to the Gallup list, surpassing all other contenders by a significant margin. However, her popularity was not universally accepted. Mother Teresa faced significant criticism. Indian perspectives on her are not consistently positive. Arup Chatterjee, a doctor born and raised in Calcutta, who was an activist in the city's slums during the 1980s before moving to the UK, claimed that he never saw any nuns in those slums. His extensive research, which included over 100 interviews with volunteers, nuns, and others familiar with the missionaries of charity, was detailed in a 2003 book criticizing Mother Teresa. Chatterjee accused her of promoting a cult of suffering and presenting a distorted and negative image of Calcutta, while exaggerating the achievements of her mission and misappropriating funds and privileges available to her. He noted that some of the hygiene issues she highlighted, such as the reuse of needles, showed improvements after Mother Teresa's death in 1997. During his tenure as mayor of Calcutta from 2005 to 2010, Bikash Ranjan Bhattacharya expressed his belief that Mother Teresa had not had a significant impact on the city's impoverished population. He criticized her for supposedly glorifying disease rather than providing adequate treatment, and for misrepresenting Calcutta as a city filled with lepers and beggars. Despite these differences, the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, a right-wing Hindu political party, had clashes with Mother Teresa over her support for Dalit Christians. Nonetheless, they praised her after her death and even sent a representative to her funeral. When you think the dust has settled, something else happens. The Vishwa Hindu Parishad, VHP, however, opposed the government's decision to grant a state funeral to Mother Teresa. Secretary Giriraj Kishore claimed that her primary loyalty was to the church and that her social work was secondary, accusing her of bias towards Christians and participating in covert baptisms of the terminally ill. In a prominent tribute on the front page, the Indian fortnightly Frontline refuted these accusations as patently false and mentioned that they had no impact on the general perception of her contributions, particularly in Calcutta, praising her altruistic compassion, vigor, and courage. The author of the tribute criticized Teresa's public stance against abortion and her claim of being apolitical. In February 2015, Mohan Bhagwat, leader of the right-wing Hindu organization Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh (RSS), made a statement suggesting that Mother Teresa's intention was to convert the individuals she served into Christians. Mother Teresa suffered a heart attack in Rome in 1983 while visiting Pope John Paul II. After a second attack in 1989, she had a pacemaker implanted. In 1991, after suffering from pneumonia in Mexico, she experienced further heart problems. Despite offering to resign as head of the Missionaries of Charity, The sisters of the congregation voted for her to stay through a secret ballot, and she agreed to continue. In April 1996, Mother Teresa fell and broke her collarbone, and 4 months later, she was diagnosed with malaria and heart failure. Despite undergoing heart surgery, her health continued to deteriorate. Archbishop Henry Sebastian de Souza ordered a priest to perform an exorcism with her consent when she was first hospitalized with heart problems, believing she might be under attack by the devil. On March 13, 1997, Mother Teresa resigned as head of the Missionaries of Charity. She passed away on September 5, 1997. Her body was exposed in an open coffin in St. Thomas, Calcutta during the week preceding her funeral. The Indian government expressed its gratitude for her selfless service to people of all beliefs in the country by organizing a state funeral for her. During the service, Cardinal Secretary of State Angelo Sodano, representing the Pope, delivered a moving homily. The news of Mother Teresa's death was received with pain and sadness by both secular and religious communities. The Prime Minister of Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, described her as an extraordinary person who dedicated her life to noble causes, praising her unwavering commitment to caring for the poor, the sick, and the marginalized, considering it a brilliant example of service to humanity. Former UN Secretary General Javier Pérez de Cuellar said that Mother Teresa embodied the spirit of the United Nations and represented peace in the world. The Vatican recognized the healing of a tumor in the abdomen of Monica Bezra, an Indian woman, as a miracle. This healing was attributed to the application of a relic that contained Teresa's image, from which Bezra claimed a ray of light emerged and cured her tumor. However, her husband and some medical personnel claimed that the tumor was eradicated through conventional medical treatment. In December 2015, Pope Francis recognized a second miracle attributed to Mother Teresa, paving the way for her canonization. This miracle involved the healing of a Brazilian man with multiple brain tumors in 2008. The investigation of this miracle began during World Youth Day 2013 in Brazil, and after an exhaustive process, the Congregation for the Causes of Saints completed its investigation and issued a decree recognizing the miracle. Mother Teresa was beatified in 2003 and later canonized as a saint in 2016 due to these recognized miracles. Then the unexpected happens. On September 4, 2016, Pope Francis canonized Mother Teresa in a grand ceremony held in St. Peter's Square in Vatican City. The event was attended by tens of thousands of people, including government representatives from 15 countries and 100 homeless individuals from across Italy. The canonization Mass was broadcast live on the Vatican Channel and streamed online, allowing audiences worldwide to witness the historic moment. In Mother Teresa's birthplace, Skopje, a week-long celebration was announced in her honor. In Calcutta, India, where she dedicated her life to serving the poor, the Missionaries of Charity held a special Mass to commemorate her canonization. On September 4, 2017, Sister Mary Prima Pierik, leader of the Missionaries of Charity, announced that Mother Teresa would be honored as the sole patroness of the Archdiocese of Calcutta during a celebration commemorating a year since her canonization. This announcement was made during a Mass held at the Cathedral of the Most Holy Rosary on September 6, 2017. Archbishop Thomas de Souza, leader of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Calcutta, confirmed on September 5, 2017, that Mother Teresa would be designated as co-patron alongside St. Francis Xavier during a ceremony honoring the first anniversary of her canonization. On September 4, 2017, Sister Mary Prima Pierik, head of the Missionaries of Charity, revealed that Mother Teresa would be named co-patron of the Archdiocese of Calcutta. This announcement took place during a Mass at the Cathedral of the Most Holy Rosary on September 6, 2017. Archbishop Thomas de Souza, who leads the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Calcutta, affirmed on September 5, 2017, that Mother Teresa would share the title of co-patron with St. Francis Xavier. Terrifying secrets of Mother Teresa. Before dying, Mother Teresa broke her silence about her dark side that no one knew. Despite spreading smiles and love, She struggled deeply within herself because she felt empty and unsatisfied. She always provided warmth to others, but it seemed she needed the same warmth. She felt lonely and believed that God was far from her. She longed for his presence but never experienced it. She feared not pleasing her Jesus and dreaded judgment. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section, and activate the notification bell.